Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you call the graveyard shift, first morning session just before coffee. So I would like to have your attention for a short while. I'm the founding member of GMP Traceability Management Software. The name might be a little bit deceiving, so I'd like to explain that our core business is to assist governments, policymakers and decision takers in selecting the right system and also the right devices when it gets to traceability and identification. We have been working in this field extensively, specifically in South Africa, in both partnership with our local government and the private sector. Hence our extended track record and intensive focus. We eat, sleep and breathe. You've only done it for 3 days. We've done this topic for 10 years. So let me just proceed. Just to recap on the last 3 days, how complicated it is that the task you have been asked to fulfill here is, looking at the diagram here, you will see that there are many role players involved and each role player has a different interest. It all goes back to that one unique identifier on the animal's ear, which is in the center there, whether it's the medical history, reproduction, performance, whether it's for disease control, or merely to the farmer to use it on ground level. So we all need the same sets of information. Best is to put it in a central place where it's accessible. And with the benefit of technology and the way technology is advanced, it is easy to do. I've often been warned by the designers of the software that I may not say easy to do, it's complicated, but in my terms, there is a solution for every requirement when it gets to interfacing technology and accessing data. What I'd like to do just to share with you today is a few projects. We've sort of listed 4 of our projects that we are currently busy with for different reasons for identification and traceability. We're working closely as the private industry with Department Northern Cape. It is for rural development in the agricultural section, the veterinary service, where we have a project where their need was to identify animals, to manage smallholder farmers, to assist them, to do disease control and primary animal health care, and to manage the outbreaks. It all went back to that little yellow tag, which all the suppliers and ICAR give you all the standards which is required, and then enhancing that plastic tag with a system, the IP that goes on it. And that is very important because that system or the enhancement of the system that you're going to place on that international standard plastic, whichever is best for yourself, is going to determine the success of the outcome of your data and the integrity and credibility. So Northern Cape is using it in the veterinary section, specifically for those topics. Then we also have a project that we do with our Gauteng Department of Agriculture, which is a project that was born in April 2013, World Vaccination Day, where we joined forces with our final year veterinary students from Onderstepoort, and obviously we call them GDART, which is the Province Veterinary Department. And on that day, the team, public-private, we succeeded in capturing in excess of 3,500 animals, cattle, a few sheep and goat, and also vaccinated dogs for rabies. To such an extent, it was done so successfully that Veterinary Service of South Africa was awarded an OIE award for this specific project. Hence, I think the credibility for the collection of the data and the success of the department collecting the information, placing it on a central database, and having the outcome, the big benefit of this project is this department can now at any point in time in that specific region tell you exactly how many of the emerging farmers there are, which animals belong to which farmer, which animals receive what vaccination. We also recorded on the day the expiry, the product, the batch, and the dosages. That is of importance if you do a disease control project. It helps them with its statistic planning and taking the project forward. That project is also now extending into support with mobile vehicles, mobile clinic and ambulatory vehicles. Then going completely to the opposite side, we have the South African ostrich industry, which is a very lucrative and financially beneficial business to our country. When we had the unfortunate outbreak of avian influenza in our country with devastating financial results, we were called in, and I'm proud to say, nobody is here present today, but I'll do it on their behalf, that in the South African ostrich industry, we are fully compliant in terms of traceability. This was made very easy, and maybe this can serve as a little bit of a directive. There was a VPN, what we call a veterinary procedural notification, issued by the Directorate. And just to briefly tell you what it was all about, they specified the use of a unique identifier, a system with a unique number. The issue of the tags are fully controlled when it moves from one destination to a next. So from the supplier, we issue the supplier with a manufacturing file. It gets back, it's verified to make sure it is actually the numbers that go out. The numbers are logged on a central database. The tags are then through the hierarchy of accreditation. The tags can only be distributed to an accredited party as per the government's instruction. When the Ostrich Chamber is the official mandated body that is helping the government or taking hands, they're doing a handshake. So they will then issue the tags to the registered abattoirs. The registered abattoirs may only issue those tags to registered compartments, which is approved by veterinary services. The compartments then have the ostriches there. The process is then in terms of the movement and traceability. If you want to slaughter an ostrich, you will get a slaughter date. You will apply for a movement permit. The procedures as per the VPN will then apply. You will do your blood sampling. The lab will send their results to the department office. They will then verify, is it clear? They will also then issue a movement permit. The movement permit will then go with the individual animals listed. It will go to the accredited abattoir and slaughtered. And at any point in time, if you type in the tag number in the system, it will say it's the vaccination certificate, the movement. It's got all the details. So I think it's trial and tested in private sector that when it's for a financial monetary gain, identification is very important. This is a perfect example where we'd use identification for traceability, for government, for disease control, and for the market purposes. Hence, we believe that identification is not for one purpose, it is your foundation. And what color the walls are going to be painted, what the windows are going to look like, that will be determined by your budget. And obviously the requirements of the environment that you're going to build. We've also been working with DUF and assisting them to make a choice of a standard compliant tag, which is internationally recognized, which is extensively used in the F&D project, and they adhere to all the rules. And the information is also traceable, that every tag that's been dispatched to DAF is traceable via the internet. You will know exactly where the tag is and what dip tank has got the tag at the current moment. And then the department is busy collecting some disease control through the Department of Epidemiology. Then basically just what it's all about, and this has been elaborated and discussed extensively, but the tag management, it's important that when you issue tags that you have full control over the tags. People receiving and handling the tags are absolutely aware of the importance of not just handing them out, but recording them, hence the ability to trace the next location of the tag all the time. The standards remains the baseline, and then the ability to use technology to do quick verification or authentication. Is this a real tag, or is it a tag that's been done by somebody who has means or access to a lasering machine? And then at the end of the day, do not forget, everything is about the owner and his wealth. We must have empathy and consistently do not lose sight of the fact that the owner and the animal is the most important role player in this whole effort of us to make the world a healthier place. And when the animals are more healthy, we enhance production and reproduction. And that is the fight against poverty and hunger and securing food security and obviously working on food safety. So a few barriers and that we've experienced. Maybe I can just quickly take you, just show you the graphics that there is a very technical process in terms of technology verifying the system. It's got different phases from producing the tags, doing the quality scanning, producing it, collecting the information in different circumstances, or from the most sophisticated commercial feedlot. We all belong to one system. We all rely on one identifier, one tag. It is the actual passport for the integrity and the data that is linked to this tag. We have extensively taken into consideration the producer, because worldwide the resistance is don't give us some more work, don't give us extra reporting to do, which initiated the design and development of an on-farm, full on-farm management system, which is set up in a way that the guidelines help the farmer to follow good management processes. We have also worked very closely with legislation to make sure whatever we give to the farmer or the user in government, that we comply to legislation. We looked at existing legislation in terms of branding, identification. We link them in the back end, which the technology does. We give the farmer something to work with, a tool that is accepted, whether you're a commercial farmer or extensive farmer. We offer a little bit of both, a little bit of recording, a little bit of commercial. We simplified the process. It is impossible for the government to collect all the information and do the job. We have to work together. There is an extensive online verification for different needs, whether you want to verify a movement permit or whatever you do. At the end of the day, serious thing, we have to make sure that we get the message out to the field, the understanding of why we want standards, the valuable asset that we have in terms of standards, work done by ICAR, work done by the OIE. We have to get the message out there. We have to work together. Each and every resource costs money. It is about budget, but it's also about making money and ensuring that we secure a future for all of us in a safe, healthy way with lots of meat. And then lastly, we've been focusing a lot on cattle, but the approach that we've taken, we've developed a multi-species platform for a government that also allows for game management, exotic equine, companion animals, specifically for rabies campaign, putting it on a central base where government can access, where provincial areas can access individually, password protected and control. And as I say, traceability is a challenge, but if we all work hard, we will succeed on that. So before I say thank you, in each and everyone's bag, we supplied a sample combo tag for a specific reason. That is the ultimate. It is a combination of a visual tag. It's got a machine-readable 2D barcode, which is verifiable to a central database. Plus, it's got the EID component in terms, so we call it a combo tag. So if you all could just open your bags quickly and have a look what they look like, because I think that the owner of I01000022 has just sort of ensured that he can extend our technology, load the platform onto this little device. But you have to be here and you have to have the tag. No, you can't have it. You see, it works like this. If you are recorded, if you are properly identified, we know who you are and we will find you. So let's just add data to his record. He's receiving the data. This is a little 10-inch touchscreen mobile Windows-based computer, which I hope is going to use in identification and traceability.
Thank you.